Is Italy in your plans? Have you had dreams of being in Italy, retiring in Italy? I still am seeing a lot of people talk about their dream of moving to Italy, and a lot of people moving to Italy. And I have an Italian background, so on this channel we talk about what's going on, current events and things like that in Italy. But for a lot of us, Italy has a warm spot in our heart. It's, you know, la dolce vita, meaning the sweet life, you know, the food and the way of life of Italy. You know, the O Sole Mio generation was, my dad's generation, was the O Sole Mio generation. He grew up with O Sole Mio and Toto. Toto was a comedian of that day. You know, we grew up with more modern Italian music. The food is great. Every time I have my son's pizza, it's the best pizza in the world. That's not just because it's my son's and because it's Italian, but it really is the best pizza I've ever had. And it's right there in my home, and I don't even have to be in Italy, but that's besides the point. The point is that the Italians, you can say the Italians, but really it's just certain Italians. I don't want to make sweeping generalizations, but you know, there's certain Italians, they've done it to me again. Once again, this is the nail in the coffin of the relationship. Italy is just totally divorced from me.
Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Yes, the Italians have done it to me once again, and you will not believe the story I will be telling you, or maybe you will, especially coming from Italy. It's just, it just doesn't seem to be anything to my mind, to really shock anyone. Coming from Italy, there's so many shocks going on. But anyway, please check our video library. There's some videos there about our travels that we did in Europe, and part of that was going to Italy. Now, I talked about how a couple different times where they, you know, we're all one family, and then they never refunded any of the tickets at all, and so that was going on. And they're still gracious enough to email me saying, yes, we know you're upset, Frank, but we're not going to give you your money. We haven't seen a penny from any of the tickets flying from Italy. But that's not what this story. This is indirectly related. The story I'm going to tell you is that they. I mean, this isn't going to be any surprise to some of you, and it isn't any surprise to me, because any company that acts the way they were acting, I mean, the market is going to take care of them, and there isn't anything really any of us have to do. You know, I mean, anything anybody has to do, the market will punish them. And they did brutally punish them, and they're bankrupt. Of course, they were insolvent all along for years, which is, you know, and it's a government-run company, and it's an Italian government-run company. That should tell you everything right there. But the bottom line is this, that they recently filed bankruptcy. But listen to this. Part of the deal is that they're going to come out with a new public company, and that the only requirement the European Commission put on them was to make sure that they had a clean break from the old company. Well, it's like, what's a clean break? They have 10,000 employees. They're going to put like less than 1/3 of them back to work, and so they got rid of all those 70% of their employees. And the new company is going to be buying some of the old assets. So there really isn't a clean break. This is just paperwork shuffling. It's just, they've shuffled up some paperwork, but what they wanted to do was, the European Commission they made an agreement. They wanted to be sure that the new company wasn't going to be liable, listen to this, for the multiple billions of dollars that Alitalia owed as their debt that they owed the state, which of course is taxpayer money. The taxpayer gets the short end of the stick once again, and it's no wonder in Italy they say that you know, avoiding taxes for Italians is a national pastime. Well, you can see this is just one of those things. It's the last nail in the coffin of Alitalia, but it's exemplary as to the whole country. You know, how the whole country is run, which isn't really funny.
You know what? There are stories out here that sometimes it takes some really deep understanding and diligence to understand what really might be going on. When you look at how this company was managed or mismanaged, this Italian national airline, one of the, you know, we all grew up with this name, Alitalia, you know, since 1946. all our lives, right? And now they're finally claiming bankruptcy, which they've been insolvent all along, but now they're finally bankrupt, blaming it on COVID. There could be something to that if you consider, because they're getting rid of like 70% of their employees, although they say that a lot of their pilots and stewardesses are remaining, but not all of them. That's the key. Perhaps this is just a way for them to hide what's happening, besides all the other things that they're sweeping under the rug, all the billions of euros that they will not have to pay back through this paper shuffling that they're doing, calling it a bankruptcy. You see how the big corps and the government get to claim bankruptcy whenever they want, but to the small guy, you don't get to do that. So imagine with me if it's a cover-up. To me, it smells like a cover-up. Like, you know, you've got these pilots and these employees that are, you know, dropping like flies because of their mandatory craziness that they're doing over there now, right? And so, you know, you want to cover it up. What a great time, good timing, you know, to just claim bankruptcy and gee, you know, all these employees here that are croaking. Well, they just got let go. They didn't, you know, they croaked afterwards. They just shuffle some papers around, make it look like, you know, all these employees, you know, croaked after we claimed bankruptcy. What a way to just, you know, sweep everything under the rug. Just the timing on this is so smelly. It's just ridiculous.
And the president and the people in government there, that they are trying to force people, you know, with this jab initiative, where, you know, all of these people in government, they all have a financial interest in the pharmaceutical companies that have a stake in seeing everybody jab. It's just par for the course. It's just part of the deal. Welcome to Italy, La Dolce Vita, you know.
So, but, you know, this is the kind of company that we've been talking about in a few of our other videos. And just, you could see it, the way that they handle their customers. You know a lot about a company, the way they handle their customers. And it's not small things. It's not small things, you know, like bad service or not giving you service and this kind of thing. It's just totally 100% ripping you off in a very big way and not even apologizing for it. I mean, like I get emails, oh yeah, we know you're upset, but we're not giving you your money back, okay? That kind of arrogant attitude that you know that this company isn't going anywhere, and you know before it happens that the company isn't going to exist very much longer. And so this is the story of the day, that we're thinking, you know, they're just sweeping this under the rug and hiding what's really happening with some of their employees. What a great way to do it, right? Just, hey, you know, this big, huge bankruptcy, but lo and behold, it's pretty amazing how their new company is going to end up with assets and employees and everything they need to grow a brand new company. You know, wow. Just a clean slate, just like that. Shuffle some paperwork around.
So they're shuffling paperwork around, divesting themselves of all those debts that they owed before. They're starting out, quote unquote, clean with a new company, but with some of the old employees, some of the old assets, but without any of the debt. And of course, the taxpayers getting left behind. And the common man on the street gets the short end of the stick, and the people in government and industry remain on top as the winners. But as they say, people call themselves stakeholders. I would clearly want to encourage some of them to reconsider being stakeholders in a government that's everlasting, because no earthly government has ever lasted forever. So,
and all we're trying to do is enjoy life, and this day and age we'll just have to be flexible. That's one thing about retire early lifestyle, whether it's in your own home country or abroad, is that it teaches us to be flexible. And that's one of the things that I'm seeing too, is people, I'm even getting people from Australia that I'm talking to me saying that they're, you know, embarking on a lifestyle of working from home and being more self-sufficient and just having a more independent life, thinking more independently. When you look at who it is that's trying to enslave us and persecute us, it is the big institutions, the very big institutions that perhaps we grew up like we grew up with like Alitalia, you know, It's these very big names, common household names that we grew up believing that you know, they were some sort of pillar or stable or whatever, and they never were. They never were. And you know, the chickens come home to roost, and it is what it is. So
but anyway, yeah, so basically the new company will start out with some of its old assets and some of its old employees, none of the debts. So they'll have a core amount of assets there and workers, and then they plan on increasing their assets. And so it looks like the hope is to rebuild something totally new, but of course it's still in the old hands. And so it's only a matter of time until things just kind of slowly morph into just another Italian boondoggle. All right, and with that, thanks for coming to our videos, and let us know if going to Italy was part of your ideal retirement scenario, or maybe thinking about it or considering it. There's so much going on now after 2020 that I don't know. I still see people, you know, talking about doing this as if nothing was happening, which of course is silly. But all right, thanks for coming to our channel, and let us know what kind of comment you'd like to hear from us. Have a nice